When I was studying third grade, I was asked to read a paragraph in Tamil. And without a lot of hesitation, I stood up and I started reading the paragraph. With a lot of imperfections and lots of mistakes, I completed it, and also to the amusement of my entire class. And how did that turn out? With all of the angry the teacher had on me. I was a person who had difficulty in speaking. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, my evaluator, and guest here. How would that feel when someone is actually saying to us when we are not able to pronounce certain letters? As a person who had a difficulty in speaking, this was not stopped when I was a child. It was ongoing till now. Trust me, still happening in my home every day. And for effective communication, for considering it, go on communication, the first step is speaking. And when people are going to mock you every time when you're speaking, either in English because you cannot pronounce a certain letter, or in Tamil because you still cannot get certain letters in Tamil because that is the person that I am. Does that stop me from being communicating? No. I went on even after people mocking me every step. I climbed every step to reach where I am now, where I can communicate to an audience who can also listen. And that is an achievement that I am having right now. As a process of communication learning, I happen to be in my project where understanding my communication style, where there are a series of questions which led me to my desirable communication style. And to my surprise, the four communication style which I saw is something I did not know about. There were four communication style. One is initiate, another is direct, another is supportive, which our friend very good explained it, and the last is analytical. And all these things have a different meaning. Initiate is sociable, analytical, you could be precise and only say what is needed. Direct is communicating to the point, and supportive, as we all know right now. I went in and I learned and I started the processing of what is my communication style after reading all these types. And I learned sometimes I'm initiate, I'm sociable. I went on and speaking with people, even after a lot of imperfection that I'm having, I still do it. I went on being friendly with everyone. But when I am going to my team to ask deliverables, I had to be a direct communicator. I cannot give in a room for fun. I cannot give in a room for being social, but I had to be direct and precise on what am I going to say. But all these communications, we had to be process of not one, but there are certain circumstances where I had to be analytical as well. The reason is because when I went to a top management for presenting a certain report, I have gone into every detail where I was stopped at the start and they said, actually do not go into all the details. Just say what you want and let's finish this. And that's when I learned every time you cannot be initiate, every time you cannot be direct. Sometimes you have to be analytical, precise what you are going to say with all the figures and facts. And that's the way that you have to work. We are all experiencing. And for being supportive, when we see some hard times going on with people around us, we definitely go in and support. When our friends, our families, we see, we go in into the support of each other. And that's the way that we have been. Not one style, but there are circumstances which we have to practice different style. But to an effective communication, there are 7 C's which we can practice so that we can make ourselves better. So here I'm having 7 C's, which is clear. So have it clear. So the message that I am saying should be very clear. What I'm delivering should be received by the center, and the communication or the language that I'm using should be correct. And here it goes, correct. That's yeah, right. The same thing. The information that we are processing should be correct. It should not have a grammatical mistakes. It should not be in a language where my receiver could not able to understand what I am saying. It should be a grammatically correct, and the speech topic and the whatever I'm speaking should be relevant. And next is complete. And what is complete? It should be a full information. We cannot go on with half-baked information, go on to people and deliver this particular thing. We had to be complete in our speech. Complete information has to be given so that the audience can have a full learning or full information on the details. Next is concrete, where it means it should be clear and the message should no room for misrepresentation. And what is the difference between the correct and concrete? Yes, sorry about that. We should mention all the facts, the figures, so every possible information also has the audience have it. And the next is concise, is to the point. We cannot have a 2 hours communication to just deliver a 10 minutes message. That cannot be the way. You go on and say the information so that the audience can get the grasp of it with the precise information that we are having. The consideration is we should have the audience's knowledge, opinions, and all the details before communicating it. What would my audience be? How would their opinions before having the presentation? And courteous, we had to be kind, we had to be open, and we had to be honest in the communication that we are presenting. So here are our 7 C's. It did not matter if I am initiate type of person, and now knowing the communications, I can be more clear, correct, complete, concrete, concise, consideration, and courteous. To effectively communicate, we must realize we are all in a different way. We perceive this world, and we can take that as a guide to make our communication better and delivering it. Thank you so much, everyone.